Guys, so I am apologizing in advance. This video is mostly fish. Say hello, guys, or not. So yeah, if you like fish, then that is good. If you don't, I mean, you can totally skip those parts. I don't care, okay? But yeah, be forewarned. But yeah, otherwise, I have some longish stories for you guys too, so try to mix it up. Yeah, so this is a long video, I know, but I just had lots of footage. So yeah, enjoy. Okay, so I'm actually uploading my latest video as we speak. Yeah, I could have included this part in this video, this last video, but I decided not to because I just wanted to upload it, and it takes a while to download movies and put them on and stuff, and so I just wanted to do that. But anyway, so these are my new fish, Scylla and Charybdis. Let's see, that's Scylla, and that's Charybdis. They're named after these great sea monsters, sea creatures from the Odyssey. I'm going along with my Homeric theme, because you can see Patroclus in there. He's kind of in the edge. He's hiding out. Then Achilles is actually kind of just going behind this net here. I'm not getting a good view, so I don't want to turn this. But there, that black spot is him. And I've quarantined Telemachus. He's breathing. You can see him moving a little bit. He's not doing so good. So I decided, like, hey, if he got some sort of infection from sleeping with a corpse all night, I want to contain that. So I cleaned out this bowl, and added these two fish, which are also, they're both free fish from the biology department. But this time I made sure to pick ones that looked a little more, I don't know, like they're doing okay. Charybdis keeps attacking her reflection. She's kind of an idiot, but, that works. I added this plant. It's from Kenzie's fish bowl. She has a betta fish named Natsu. And so he gave this plant to Scylla and Charybdis as a housewarming gift, kind of a welcome to the neighborhood thing, which was nice of him. I think it's upside down. It's kind of hard to tell, but since I'm going to have to take it out when I clean out the bowl, like in a week or whatever, I don't really feel like trying to switch it around because it is kind of a pain to do that. Yeah. So Telemachus is kind of not being nice to me. I have some rocks in here so he can have some hiding places. Trying to make his last hours count, or I don't know, comfortable, I guess. But he was right here. He was here. And I came in the room, turned on the light, and he swims over there, like he's hiding from me. And so that was kind of a jerk move, Telemachus. Thanks. Oh yeah, here you can see Charybdis going at it. She's like a spaz or something. Yeah, Emily Lynn and Kenzie and I were thinking that Telemachus might have been addicted to weed, and Charybdis might have been on like caffeine or something, because she is just super hyper, which I like. It's a nice change, I think. Yeah. I'm so hungry. Well, there's some food for you up top, if you would just find it. Yeah, they're figuring stuff out. Yeah. Telemachus is still alive, but barely. Is he alive? Yeah, he's alive. Okay. Yeah. He's not really happy this morning. So I come in here and Telemachus is doing fine. Like, he ate the flake that I had put in here this morning, thinking that like he would ignore it like usual. But no, like so he's swimming around, he's getting more oxygen, like coming up to the top like the others have. And he's like swimming around. So I put another flake up there. Yeah, I scared him. Hoping that he might have some more, because I mean he hadn't eaten for a while. So yeah, so hopefully he's gotten over like whatever shock he was in. I kind of like having him in here because he's still not, you know, super great. And then, I mean, also, I feel like this vase is like just big enough for Saline Charybdis, and so I don't want to add another fish in there because I think that'd be too much. So I'm going to see how he's doing. Yeah, I'm not sure. I stirred the water a bit. I'm not really sure how to really add more oxygen, like otherwise. I mean, they have a plant and stuff, so I don't know if they're just doing that just 'cause, or if they're like, oh, I can't breathe. But yeah, I mean, I'll change the water out in a few days anyway, so they're probably okay. That's one of the problems of not having a filter, is that you have to watch, you know, the oxygen of your water. But yeah, they're all doing pretty well, I think. And so it's just like, I'm so proud of them. I'm having Achilles visit Telemachus for a little bit. Because now that Telemachus is looking okay, I was like, hey, he could have a buddy and we'll see what happens. So yeah, Achilles is just kind of hanging out. He's having fun. Meanwhile, like, Patroclus, I think is sleeping or something because he's been on that spot for a while. So yeah. So, good news. I was talking to Abby on the phone the other day, and she said, that, so her family used to have fish, right? And then they died and they didn't replace them, but they still have the fish tank. So when I come back home again, I could check out the fish tank, and if I like it, which I probably will, then I could probably take it back here. So I'm thinking about that, and that could be cool. Okay, so I just had to tell you this story that I had forgotten about. This is actually from Wednesday, I think, but I remembered it like yesterday. But anyway, so it was just a cute story, kind of. So in econ, there's no attendance for any of my classes, right? But for econ, you get like sort of participation points for going. And so he has like this sort of attendance sheet that goes around, because it's like a 50 something person class, so he doesn't want to take attendance, you know. So there's just this sheet that goes around, and you just sign your name on it, like it's a piece of paper, you know, like a college rolled piece of paper. And you just sign your name on it as it's going by. And so the other day, Wednesday, so this guy, so he's one of the football players, I think, but he's like this huge guy, and he has like this like sort of like ginger, like strawberry blonde, like curly beard, right? Like he looks like this like outdoorsy, like Scotsman or something, and he has like this really kind of longish curly hair, and so lately he's been wearing like a headband with it, which looks kind of weird on this like huge, like burly guy, you know. Anyway, so he hands me the paper, right? And so I take it and I look, and there's like, you know, these two columns of names, and then like his name, and then 3 like blanks down, there's like a smiley face. And so I sort of like chuckle at that, you know, and I show Emily Lynn because she's sitting next to me, and she's like, what? Wait, what's this? And then the guy, the the beard guy sort of like is smiling and not saying anything. He's just smiling, and then the guy sitting in front of Emily Lynn, because the paper goes sort of from the back to the front. So the guy sitting in front of Emily Lynn, so like he starts laughing and he's just like, oh, you, and so he's also on the football team, and he's like this big guy, wears camo and whatever, and so he's a little like embarrassed, and he's like, oh yeah, he just kind of does that, like, like, because the blank, like the smiley face, is on the blank that this guy would sign his name on. So he's like, yeah, he always does that. Like, he counts ahead however many seats I am and puts a smiley face on that line. And it was like, that's so cute. Like, what the heck? And this guy with the beard, he's not saying anything. He's just sort of smiling and laughing. And then they both look at each other and like, oh, you. And Emily Lynn and I are just like, caught in the middle of this. And it was just like, it was super cute. Okay. So today is a very special day. This happens basically once a month, and so I just found some relevant Bible reading for this special day, so you guys can share in the celebration with me. When a woman has a discharge of blood that's a regular discharge from her body, she shall be in her impurity for 7 days, and whoever touches her shall be unclean until the evening. Thank you. Other news, I discovered that the word for someone who is menstruating is menstruant. So you guys can add that to your vocabulary and tell me if you use that word this week. So Emily Lynn and I have been complaining about this book report for econ. That's not really a book report. So it's basically like these 4 questions that you have to answer in like a 5-page essay. Although both of us will probably go over because that's what happened last time. But basically, it's basically another research essay, right? Because there's like, what are the 5 major economics lessons you learned from the book? This book, actually, The Economic Naturalist. And so it's like, okay, that works. But please use the economic concepts from the textbook and the lectures to support your argument. Like, I have to support my argument for the lessons I learned from this book with other things. Okay. And then there's this thing of like, at one point the author of the book says that the cost-benefit principle is the mother of all economic ideas, and so you gotta talk about that. And so it's like, okay. And then, so this book is basically a bunch of like economic enigmas, like random, happenstances in life that can be explained using economics. And so it's just all these little like things like, why do drive-up ATMs have braille on the keypads and stuff like that. And so then you have to use the law of supply and demand to explain an economic enigma that's not found in the book. So actually for that, I'm going with why poetry books cost so much more per page than other works of fiction. Because I think that's interesting. And because the thing is, it really comes down to more of sort of quality, and then also demand is lower, and whatever. I mean, obviously I'm talking about that in my essay. But I thought it was an interesting topic, Yeah, so that's what I'm going with. But like, that's not book report, that's research. Although actually, I don't think you really have to say like, oh, this is actually why it is, you just sort of have to have an explanation that may or may not be correct, that's just logical, I like that. Logic trumps truth, right? Yeah, and then the last question is the only one that's actually like book report-ish, where it's like, did the book motivate your interest in economics. And I was like, sure, yeah. I mean, it actually was pretty interesting, but it's just like, yeah. So the big thing really is this 5 major economics lessons, and then argue for them. Because that's basically like, okay, so let's go back through the past 6 weeks of econ and just tell me about all of these concepts we learned, except use stuff from this book and the textbook to support your arguments, you know. So yeah, I'm going to work on that, and hopefully I can get it done before this 3-day weekend, because it's due on the Monday after, on the 13th. But it's due on that day, and then also that week is the econ midterm, and then there's also the honors midterm and all that stuff. So I would rather not be working on this over the 3-day weekend, especially since I've been planning on seeing other people. Yeah. Why do we say hardcover and paperback and not like hardcover and paper cover or hardback and paperback? I was just drawing this essay and thinking about that, and it bugs me now. Saturday night dinner is a latte and tortilla chips and calculus. Yay. Look at all the sun. But here's my pillow. Okay guys, I hope you liked my video, and I look forward to yours, and I'll see you again on Wednesday. Yes. Crying, I have made his glory mine, and shrieking out, O fool! The harlot leapt adown the forest, and the thicket closed behind her, and the forest echoed, Fool.